Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tornado Show with your host Andrew Merchant and Tornado.
Yep, that's perfect. That was lovely. I loved it. That is top.
Tornado did nothing wrong.
Hello, Jimjamatic here. Welcome to another episode of Robot Wars Episode Review. This is episode 15 of Extreme 1. Oh, God. And joining me are Alexthehunted.
Sunlight. How long have I been out for?
Too long.
Downstairs in Jim's closet.
Too long, my
God.
friend.
Well, at least I'm reassured that there'll be another series of Robot Wars.
I'll have to talk about that later. And joining you also in the closet, I guess, I don't know, is Owain, Tentijester.
What?
Is Owain coming out the closet?
Last Extreme.
Oh, this is the last episode of Extreme properly.
So Owain's coming out the closet, is he?
Yeah, technically. So are you, hopefully, if they play the cards right. But
The question is, what have me and Alex been doing in that closet?
I don't want to know. Enough of your closet shenanigans. This is episode 15, which is technically the last episode of the classic format of Extreme 1. Obviously, the extra episodes are the Second International Special and the Armed Forces Special. This one is the last official episode, and man, it's not the best episode to end on. In terms of...
Way to go out on a high note.
I know, it's really not very good, this episode. I mean, you have one funny battle in it, one battle that's... I don't actually know, the other 4 battles are pretty crap, I think, right? Yeah, so 4 battles aren't that great. I mean, one's okay, but it's too one-sided. One's just boring.
It kind of honestly feels like these episodes' fights were just comprised of the robots that didn't go home yet.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't know when they filmed the Antweight stuff. I mean, that's probably the most entertaining thing in this whole heat, because they're Antweight.
It is the most entertaining thing about this whole heat.
I mean, we do get to see a few people who are prominent in later series or outside of Robot Wars. That's quite cool in this. But
oh yeah, we can't forget the debut of the almighty Pants team.
Oh, Pants is lovely. I love Pants. But
We can't also forget a very, 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 very young Craig Canby.
Oh, of course, yeah, that's who I was alluding to. But we'll get to the battles, of course. The first one being a quote-unquote vengeance of Thermidor 2 versus Napalm 2.
Now, it's really a kind of shitty thing that they kind of paint the Thermidor team as, well, basically being sexists. Who in the production office was like, okay, we need one more match for the vengeance. It needs we need one more match for this final episode, and what's the reason going to be behind it? Should we do like a do a proper settling of settling of a score? Like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of one that would be good for a vengeance fight.
I don't know, something like maybe Chaos 2 versus Wild Thing or something. I don't know. Just something that would be quite cool, but we get this one, which is so one-sided, and it's so fake in the vengeance that it's so obvious that the Thermidor team are just saying this because they've been told to say this by the producers or whoever told them.
Who thought it was a good idea to... I know, here's the reason for what the vengeance will be. Let's say that women don't belong in robotics.
And do you know the best thing about this particular battle as well is the fact that they build it up. It's like, I think her name's Vicky, isn't it? Vicky from Team from Napalm, like going, "Oh, we're gonna beat you," and then it's fucking David Crosby who's driving it. Why? Why would you even do that?
To be fair, Crosby always steals the remotes.
I know he does, but in this particular battle, the one time where I at least want to make an illusion that there's some sexism going on, and then they just sort of clarify it in a weird way without really doing it. I don't know.
And also, if they wanted to make this a proper, like, prove the men wrong, why would they make the female representative be Napalm?
I don't know.
It's like Mr. Psycho said. They could have picked a better representative for the women.
I mean, why didn't they get what's the name of the person on Team Firestorm? I forget her name now.
Hazel Hezlock.
Yeah, they could have got her. They got her to drive Firestorm or something, and then just like.
Or the Cat 3 team.
Yeah, the Cat 3 team. The Cat 3 team would be perfect for this kind of thing, but...
What do you mean, perfect?
Oh, I see what we did there. That was very funny. Whoa, jokes.
This was, let's be honest, this was Series 5 Cat 3.
Yeah, and also this was Series 2 and 3 Napalm, by the way, which is... Actually, I remember watching this, and I actually, one of the few times I felt sorry for Napalm, because this thing's been
was this the fight that retired the original Napalm?
Yeah, I thought Series 3... I mean, I forgot about this, because I actually thought it was the Series 5 napalm they used for the extreme. Well, that one's got better than the Annihilator, obviously, so they ended up using this one. And you feel sorry for this napalm. I mean, it didn't get that badly damaged in Series 2. Then it gets, like, wrecked by Stegosaurus in Series 3. And then it gets beaten, the wheel breaks, the insides get knocked up, its bits of it more butts start falling off.
It gets torn apart in the tag team, and then in this.
Yeah, and then it gets flipped out of the arena, whilst Dead Metal's chewing on it the entire time. And
I want to know, like, if Stegosaurus, a robot with no moving weapon, can do that to napalm, and if Thermidor, a robot with a really small flipper weapon, can do that to napalm, what the fuck could hypno-disc do to napalm?
I think we'd see like parts of it go into like outer space at that point.
It's like I always think. What would have happened if Onslaught didn't have to withdraw from Series 4 and had to fight hypno-disc?
Oh god.
Oh god, I just thought Tombstone versus napalm. I'd pay money to see that.
In fairness, I would as well. I think a lot of people would.
It would be Vanquish all over again.
Yeah. I mean, the actual battle, there really isn't anything to talk about. They just get flipped, break down.
A couple of flips. They don't break down. They get stuck on the side. Like the robot just caves in on itself.
Yeah,
It was glorious to see, though.
It was glorious. I mean, anytime seeing napalm get destroyed is sort of great. I mean, it's sort of like when we saw Detonator in the War of Independence getting battered by Frenzy, but this was brutal.
You know your robot is a piece of shit when you can actually see right through the fucking robot.
Yeah, but give it again. As I said, this was a Series 2 robot. This wasn't meant to be in the Series 5 arena against up-to-date robots at this point. It was there purely only because
it was there because their actual official Napalm 2 was just a shit. I'm going to be honest. Series 2 to this Napalm is more reliable than the actual sequel to Napalm.
Oh yeah, I mean, you gotta give credit. I mean, again, as I said, it did get battered in Series 3, but it survived. Yeah, it's just, I feel bad seeing it in this arena now with these robots against it and, like, up-to-date weaponry, and it's just...
All they did was paint it black.
Yeah, and that's all they did, like they did for their other napalm, but...
I mean, hell, Shadow of Napalm withstood better to Thermidor than this Napalm.
No.
I don't know, would have probably fallen out of its shell again.
Yeah.
It's still the most damage the pit has ever done.
But yeah, this was not a vengeance battle. I mean, it was just thrown together by the producers, so I'm not going to care more about it than that, really. It was just a dumb battle to start the episode off with.
My question is, why didn't they just make this vengeance fight like an actual vengeance fight? Because Pussycat was still in the studio. They could have had Pussycat versus Thermidor, and then Napalm challenged Tornado for the challenge belt.
Oh my god, Tornado against Napalm.
Yeah, actually that would have been better because I mean at this point everyone was like, "There's no one's able to challenge Tornado for this belt."
No, and speaking of the challenge belt, obviously, because Pussycat is their final challenger, and while Pussycat is a decent robot, it's not. I don't know what it could have done to Tornado.
I mean, I know people say like Tornado's in pretty much all of Extreme, but that's because of its Series 5 performance. So it's relatively in fresh shape throughout all of Extreme. Whereas Pussycat was in quite a lot of Extreme as well, but also was made it all the way to semi-final round 2.
Yeah, it had a lot of work to do. I mean, unfortunately, this time, one of the weaknesses of Pussycat came quite into full force here, as it has done a few other times. Is the fact that if one of the wheels is damaged, its whole strategy of moving around is kind of nullified. Like one of the tires comes off after it got shoved into by Matilda. I don't know if the disc did it or it just got rammed in and the tire fell off it. But
I think it might have just been the bolts failed or something.
Something happened, but the tire was like sideways on it, so it couldn't really move at all. And then it was just spinning around in circles. The whole strategy, be able to tumble and go back on its wheels and stuff, was never going to work.
If you think like how, yeah, it's how beaten up, because this was clearly one of the fights that was filmed at the end of the series, like of the whole Extreme Series 5 series, where obviously Pussycat was pretty beaten up and Tornado was in still pretty good shape.
Oh yeah. I mean, even if Tornado and Pussycat were both like fresh out, I still don't see how Pussycat could have won this one. It's not a bad robot. Again, Pussycat is a good robot, but Tornado just too fast for it and too maneuverable, whilst Pussycat is a little bit more haphazard in its approach, even if it is driven by David Gribble. So
this is also one of those fights I think where I do question why Pussycat didn't have a blade on both sides.
Yeah, it would have made it. I guess it would have made it a little bit harder for it to maneuver, a little bit less maneuverable. I guess if it got stuck in its side, perhaps.
But I don't know, because it sometimes uses the blade to get back on its proper wheels. I don't know. It's always, I mean, compared to Series 7, where they decide to put two blades on the same side.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. But this actual battle really wasn't too eventful, really. It was just a lot of shoving, then the tyre falls off, and then it's just a matter of time before Tornado pushed him to the pit, really. Although I would have loved it if Tornado had actually driven to the pit by accident at the last moment.
And because technically they Pussycat weren't counted out, that's how Tornado loses the belt.
Yeah, that would have been funny. Pussycat just getting the belt at the very end. We'll leave the challenge belt, I think, because unless there's anyone's got anything else to say about it, because I can't really think of anything.
I'm just still confused why they gave Team Tornado 2 challenge belts.
Because they were ultra awesome, that's why.
Because they won it free. They won the belt out 3 times, so they get to keep it. So they had to make another one.
Yeah, this is just bragging rights at this point, really.
So they Robot Wars are given this simple concept of championship belts, and that they don't follow the championship belt basic rules.
Well, the problem was the fact that the first challenge belt was they probably didn't think, there was going to be a robot that would win 3 times in a row, and then Tornado comes in, beats every single robot relatively easy.
They throw it, yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, well we didn't plan on this being we thought it was going to be a feature throughout the series, so fuck it, make a second belt.
Yeah, I mean the one thing I didn't get was how when Tornado beat Behemoth, that counted as a win for them, so they only had to win it twice.
Yeah, I don't know why that was the case. That should have been more...
It should have been reset to 0. It's like, you won the belt, now you have to start from 0.
Yeah, it was kind of annoying. This battle could have been a lot better, but it ends up being relatively short for how Pussycat broke on its wheels, or its tyres anyway. Then we get to the Antweight melee, which is the most fun part of this entire battle. The
only part of this episode I loved.
Yeah, we get how many? We get 1, 2, 3,
7.
4, 5, 7. Oh, there you go. Thank you, 7. We've got 7.
Until the 10-way, this was the most robots in a Robot Wars arena.
Yeah, 7 Antweights together.
Technically 8, because one of these was a little cluster bot as well.
Oh yeah, technically 8. Yeah, of course.
Actually, wait, no, I'm forgetting the Series 7 Antweight. Not Antweight, featherweight competition.
Oh, yeah, they had a lot, yeah, of course. But we'll just go for I'm just going for the robots in the order on the wiki. It's not really any particular order, because... I'll start with Anto, which coincidentally the first robot I wanted to talk about anyway. This is the first appearance of Craig Danby.
He looks so young.
He does, and the tragedy about...
Look at that forehead.
I know, right? I mean, the tragedy about Craig...
Look at that haircut.
The biggest tragedy about him is that he tried to appear in a lot of series and only got... This is the only time he appeared on screen in the classic series, and then got to appear in all 3 series of the reboot at some point.
Actually, no, because he appeared in the featherweight competition of Series 7 and Extreme 2.
Oh, you saw him there as well? Yeah, I forgot.
What really sucks is that his greatest achievement was never shown.
Beating hypno-disc in the
wildcard.
Wildcard, yeah.
I mean, yes, this was Extreme hypno-disc, which didn't work, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is back when his team was called Team Terraphonics and not Team Danby. But the robot Anto, it's just a little wedge flipper to
It's amazing to see where he started from and how things became.
Yeah,
where he is now.
I felt sorry for him in this battle because it just got wrecked by combat.
I mean, looking at Anto, is it made out of cardboard? I think there were plastic bottle tops glued on the side of it.
Yeah, I think there actually were. I'm not sure what they were supposed to do, but they didn't really deflect any spinners. I mean, losing both of its wheels and then just flapping about in the corner for the last 5 seconds was kind of all you saw of it, really, in this entire battle.
It's got to be the only robot in Robot Wars history where it survives to the judge's decision by having nothing but a stroke.
Yeah, it really did.
It's basically like the Black Knight out of Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
So just a flesh wound.
'Tis but a scratch.
But yeah, I mean,
scratch your arms off.
For Team Danby's official first appearance on screen on Robot Wars, it was kind of a shame that it didn't really amount to anything in the long run.
Speaking of teams that never amounted to anything, well, speaking of robots and teams that never amounted to anything, Pants.
Oh, Pants. Team Pans, obviously, Pandemonium in Series 2, who also made more Pandemonium in Series 3, who, yeah.
Have someone.
Yeah.
Responsible for the Rex Garrod.
Yeah, the Rex Garrod incident. Yeah, they failed to qualify for
That's
Series...
the dude.
Yeah, they failed to qualify for Series 4, failed to qualify for Series 5 for Big Pants, and then they finally make it into Hot Pants in Series 6, and then they lose after using the weapon. And then Thunder Pants doesn't even get into the arena. So they really had a good time going here, and Pants probably has the funniest moment in this entire battle, just how he just flicked out of the arena. And I think Jonathan Pierce almost had a fit just watching that thing fly out the arena, because it was so quick you barely saw it. Barely saw it there at all.
And it's funny to think actually,
even in the slow motion replay, it's just a blur.
It is. I mean,
I kind of find it funny to think that if you look at Pants, it looks more modern than Hot Pants, which was supposed to be their big heavyweight version of the same robot.
I know, right? And actually, it's weird that the sequel robot for it in Extreme 2 actually managed to make it to the grand final. It made up for definitely not lasting very long in the original battle, but it's just you didn't really see it. You just saw it for like a second, then it's like upside down and flicked out the arena. It didn't really, Pants didn't really amount to anything. Then we have Combat Ant, the actual winner of the battle. Spoilers. The guy who makes it, Pete Waller, is still into the combat. He still does all the Antweight events today, doesn't he? I believe.
Yeah.
I recognise it. I've seen a few of his robots on some of the championships, and he's still got some decent robots going. I'm terrible with names because I never remember the names of half the robots, but obviously he had Militant later, which it was all right, but it was definitely Combat Ant the one to look out for. And I mean, obviously, it didn't do as well in Extreme 2, but.
Well, but here's my thing about it is he wanted to make a heavyweight version of this design. I actually wonder how that would have gone.
That'd been pretty cool.
He did actually make a heavyweight robot to try and compete into World Wars, but failed to qualify for series called, I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Aeolus?
Yeah, Aeolus. Yeah.
Well, let's be honest. Looking at it, it's a pyramid box. It's a pyramid box with a spike.
Yeah, it was kind of understandable. It was sort of like Brim Her from Series 3. That's basically what it looks like.
Yeah.
But Combat Ant was really the only dominating robot in this entire battle, because ripping up Anto, I think it beat one of the Legions as well. It took little nips out of Razzor, and it was going to win. Let's face it. I think this one was going to be.
It's technically the first disc to get it out of the arena.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, before Matilda and all that were a thing. And
I gotta say, listening to Combat Ants grind the disc against little Razzor, you can't get a much more satisfying noise than that.
Like,
yeah,
that's an awesome
That's the noise that anyone who does these Antweight divisions, knows very well.
It's a very satisfying noise, that kind of like grinding noise. But yeah, the actual winner was actually a really worthy winner. The only robot to really do anything most of the time in this battle. So then we have Anti-B, the tiny little behemoth, pulling a cherub, ironically, in this battle. I mean, that got me so much in series 9 when cherub gets stuck under the flipper, and I was like, wait a minute, I've seen this before involving Behemoth. Hold on a second, this happened to Behemoth in Extreme 1, and I was like...
And this is the only machine the Behemoth guys have ever built that has won something.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, that is... Oh, that's got a sting.
It's got a sting, but it's actually a decent Antweight. I mean, it's just that, the flipper, and it really works for an Antweight form, I feel. Like, it obviously works like, heavyweight as well, but for an Antweight, it's a really well-designed Antweight for making like a one-to-one replica, a small version of Behemoth, except 2 wheels.
And actually, Anthony Pritchard made an Anti-B for Brandon, the Hardcore Kid podcast. He doesn't have Anti-B, but he has a Antweight Behemoth.
Oh, really? That's pretty cool. Oh, that's quite interesting. But we didn't see Anti-B not really doing that much in the battle, apart from its ultimate fuck up in the one part of it, which is a bit of a shame. But it actually could have been it could have taken on. I mean, hell, it won the Extreme 2 one, so it could have potentially taken on Combat Ant if it hadn't got knocked out really easily. But you never know. It could at least have put up a fight, because I imagine it could have done decently well as long as the wheels didn't get exposed. Then there's Legion, the
2 wheels and a battery.
Yeah, pretty much, and 2 tiny little lifters on it. The only cluster bot out of these robots in this battle, one of the legions just died really quickly, from what I remember. Like one didn't really do anything.
I think one lost its wheel or something.
No, I think at one point it was when it didn't. I don't get lost a wheel, but I think it was the point when Combat Ant flew pants out the arena. It also hit one of the legions in the back and must have knocked the battery out or disabled something.
I mean, it was basically 2 wheels, motors, and a battery. It had no armor on it whatsoever.
Yeah, so it was pretty much going to be Combat Ant was going to be the robot to take it out.
I always loved back in this day with like this Antweight division, all the robots had to be an ant pun.
Yeah, it's still sort of mandatory.
Still are, basically.
Oh, there's so many nowadays. I think we're starting to bleed them dry now of all the ant puns at this point.
And now to entering a pullback.
Yeah, Razzor. Razzor, yeah, it is literally the Razzor pullback with motors in it. That's literally what it is.
I've actually seen Razzor live.
How was it perform?
It was just a exhibition thing, but the Razer team actually brought little Razzor in before it showed up on the show. I'm not sure if it was the actual one that appeared, but they bought a mini remote control pullback Razer.
It might have been the same one because they didn't get that damage in the battle. I mean, it's got a few scuffs from Combat. But
this was around Series 4, so this would have been before.
See, they might have made it before, honestly. Maybe just like, and then the producer's like, "Oh, do you want to enter?" Like, fuck it, why not? Because it's not like it was going to do anything. It was a pullback toy, so it was just there for the lols, really. But
what did they say of it? 9 grams of crush.
Yeah. He was just rounding that down.
I think he was basically taking because obviously he watches the show. He's with 9 tons of squeezability. He was probably just taking the piss out of that.
Oh god, yeah.
Look at his face on the wiki. He knows that this robot is not to be taken seriously.
No, it wasn't. I bet like a lot of young people were going, "Oh my god, Razzor, it's amazing," and it's like, no, Razzor's not. It's Razzor. It's a toy. It's like a mini Razzor. That's basically what it is. Just a mini Razzor. That is all Razzor was.
Oh no, it wasn't 9 grams of crush. It was 3 grams of crush.
Oh wow, even lower, even lower. And then finally we have Little Nipper, which is coincidentally not related to Big Nipper in any way. Just happens to have the similar name.
And was its weapons mouse traps?
Yes, yes, they were.
Mouse traps.
That's what they were, because I remember for ages I had no idea what their weapon were until I looked at the wiki one time and went, oh, they were mouse traps. Okay.
So, they were they were a weapon that could only fire once.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, no, they were stag mouse traps. They were meant to snag at the robot's wheels.
Well, it did get under Razzor at least. Actually, fun fact about this, I was actually informed last time, I think it was by Anson, was that they did all the intros for the robots after the battle. So, right, no, which actually, to his credit, that gives Craig Danby a lot of credit. He managed to reassemble it back again before the intro.
I think he was probably just holding the wheels on.
Probably.
Yeah, you can see the way he's holding little Anto. He's just holding the wheels.
Yeah, but this is the reason why Little Nipper didn't have an intro, because the guy who controlled Little Nipper just left after the heat. And then they're like, where's he at? So he's left. So just no intro for him. That was the whole reason why.
In the mud.
Well, no, he probably just didn't think there was going to be an intro.
He probably just thought, oh well, that's the fight over. I'm going home.
Yeah, but it looked he's bitter about it. He was just kind of like, oh well, I was only here for like he probably knew he was going to be there for like a few hours anyway. So he's like, all right, I'm here for the Ant-wait, and it's done. All right, see you later. And then Peter's like, where's he gone? And he must have not been able to catch up with him or something. So yeah, that's the reason why he's the only one without an intro. I mean, this robot definitely. I mean, it came second in the battle. It was definitely the one that was like the most reliable, but it didn't really do anything in the battle apart from push Razzor into the pit. It just kind of did its own thing, Little Nipper, and you might not have even noticed it was there in most of the battle. But it was at least competent. You know, it's probably the most competent robot there, besides along with Anti-B and Combat Ant, really. But of course,
let's go for. The Pants were the first to go out because they got sent out the arena.
They got ducked.
Then it was Anti-B for driving into the flipper.
And no, I think Legion went out at the same time as Pants because one of the Legions broke down. So then
the second part of Legion was still active throughout the rest of the match, and JP said it was still in there.
Oh, was it? Oh, I guess so,
So
yes.
the clutch the bot rule doesn't apply to.
I guess not. I mean, yeah, so Antweight drove into the pit. Razzor gets pushed in. Anto, I don't know, at some point Anto lost both its wheels and just got mauled, which somehow was considered still active because it could, like, barely move with its flipper.
Little. So it was Little Nipper just driving, and Little Nipper just spent the rest of the match driving around while Legion just destroyed everything.
I mean,
Combat at.
The only reason Little Nipper managed to push Razzor into the pit because they were just happened to be Razzor ran into them and just turned around and went, alright then, pit. Actually, also they were the ones who activated the pit button as well, Little Nipper, and then Razzor happened to be nearby, so went, alright then, pushed in the pit. They seem to be bullying Razzor the entire match. Every time you see Little Nipper doing anything,
we might not be able to beat Razzor, but we'll beat Razzor.
Yeah, we're gonna beat Razzor.
This is what you get for entering something pre-built into this tournament.
Definitely. And then, yeah, so all you really had left after all that was one half Legion who wasn't really doing very well, Combat Ant and Little Nipper. And really
it wasn't even close, Judge. This was basically a slaughter.
Yeah, because really, if you think about it, Combat Ant took out 3 robots. Well, it took out one half of Legion, it took out Pants, and it took out Anto. Big Nipper took out Razzor, and that was it, and wasn't as aggressive as them, so it was an easy victory, honestly. I think this was an obvious judge's decision, honestly. I mean,
it was a well-deserved victory.
It was definitely well-deserved, but it wasn't a controversial one.
Combat Ant was the best robot there, by a long way.
Oh, definitely, yeah. It was. I mean, second best was probably Anti-B, which is why they won next series. I mean, hell, Combat Ant was also there, and they lost, so, you know, it did show the improvement, in, you know, even if it was a few series later, the improvement of the Antweights, I guess. But well done to Combat Ant, and again, as I said, the guy, his name is Pete Waller, is still going today in the Antweight stuff. So, yeah, it was a pretty good victory, honestly, and it was the most entertaining part of the whole heat.
And now the most infamous fight.
Yeah, the UK versus Germany battle with hypno-disc versus.
This was supposed to be just an exhibition fight.
Yeah, Nasty Warrior was there to just, you know, we made out of wood. Fuck it.
This wasn't supposed to be England versus Germany. This was basically the Nasty Warrior was going to get destroyed.
And you're right there, Owain.
Hypno-disc lost to a pencil.
Pretty much, yeah. A bit of the wood got stuck in the wheel.
I think this was Hypno-disc's last fight of this recording session when, you know, it had just been destroyed. It had just been gang raped in the Annihilator.
And it had to lose to wood. Pretty much.
Did it lose because a splinter got stuck into the gearbox?
Yeah, it got stuck in the drive motors, apparently, and it just couldn't move. That's why the weapon was still working, but the wheels weren't. So, yeah, a bit of fucking splinter got caught in. And I'm not the robot Splinter. a bit of wood, and it lost to a pencil, as you said. I mean, there's not much.
And Hypno-disc was wrecking Nasty Warrior.
Yeah, there really was just shards going everywhere. The side panels were getting broken apart. There
was one shot where Hypno-disc wasn't like the disc was spinning and it was just cutting into Nasty Warrior like a circular saw.
Yeah, it just wrecked it, and then of course it breaks down. So,
it was glorious to see for the first part.
Oh, the first part was the only good bit, because that was actually fun to watch. The second half was just watching Nasty Warrior bullshit win.
Can we just talk about Nasty Warrior for a second?
Go on.
That fucking weapon on it.
Oh, the little blade.
The first ever undercutter.
Oh, and what an example of one, eh? Whoa, it's on par with Toe Cutter, that thing.
To be fair with Nasty Warrior, it took all that damage from Hypno-disc, but it was still moving.
Yeah,
it was.
I'll give it that.
But
it was also a very slow, bulky black box made of wood that had an undercutter that couldn't even fucking reach.
It was a lawnmower. It was literally a lawnmower.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was
red.
Yeah, it was pretty much just a lawnmower blade stuck on a wooden box.
And what makes it even more depressing is you look at its win loss streak on the wiki. It lost to Ansgar, Flensburger Power, and Golem. 3 pretty naff robots. It won against the 3-time UK Grand Finalist.
Well done, Hypno-disc. Well done.
Oh, fuck.
It's a classic. It's the ultimate case of break your fist on my face technique.
Yeah.
It really was. I mean, there's nothing else to this fight, really. It was just... A pencil beat hypno-disc. Just great. And
This wasn't supposed to be how it goes.
imagine how surprised the Nasty Warrior team were after that. Like,
Well, you can clearly see in the interview afterwards, Craig was like, "What? What just happened?"
I think everyone was like that when they watched the battle first time.
He was just as stunned as when Napalm won his Mayhem.
Yeah, it's just one of those, or like when Deertor beat Tornado. It's just like, what?
I could just imagine, like, Craig just quoting Demo Man from TF2. Oh, we really hit rock bottom.
Definitely. You had to get a Team Fortress 2 reference in there, didn't you?
Yeah.
It was worth it.
Fucking love the game. I've never stopped playing it.
Hey, fair enough.
Oh.
Yeah, so the All-Stars Grand Final.
15 weeks of build-up.
All this fucking build-up, and we get Razzor not letting go. The entire thing.
The epitome of why people don't like Razzor in one fight.
Yeah, I was saying before, actually, that before we were recording, that if I said to someone, like, what would be a battle to show someone who doesn't understand why people don't like Razzor, and is kind of neutral towards Razzor, show me a battle why people don't like Razzor. I'll show them this battle. Because, yeah, they just don't let go the entire battle. And they do a loophole, they let go of them.
It's the Razzor shuffle.
Yep, the Razzor shuffle.
They literally found a flaw in the rulebook saying that you can only hold on for a certain amount of time. So they lifted their claw up just enough for Tornado to escape if they saw that they could escape, and then immediately started clamping down again.
It's such a sneaky tactic, wasn't it?
That is unfair bullshit.
And it didn't help anyway that one of its wheels wasn't working anyway, and it started spinning around in circles after the first onslaught of crushing.
It's the case. It's basically the case of, you could see when both these robots drove out that this was very close to the end of the filming for whole of Series 5 in Extreme, so both robots were in horrible shape.
They were limping. They were really limping.
Like, you could see, like, Razzor's tail was misshapen, and, like, there was armor, like, you could clearly see armor dents and stuff like that. And Tornado, you could clearly see the dents on the top.
It didn't look a fun time for it at this point. It was end of series, very definitely.
It's like if you built up a match between, say, Hulk Hogan and The Rock, and you build it up for like half a year, and then when the match finally comes around,
The week before, they both get a concussion.
Like, as soon as the match comes round, on the day, The Rock loses a leg and the Hulk Hogan is dead.
That is a good analogy, honestly. It really did boil down to that, and then I wouldn't have been as more annoyed about it if it wasn't for the fact that it was such a built-up event and so many stages and battles to get to this. And
so we had the 16 of the best teams in Deator.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I know, I'm just
Facetious asshole.
And that was episode 15. Again, thankfully it's not the absolute last episode of Extreme, because obviously they had the Armed Forces Special on the Second World Championship, but still, to end on this, so in terms of the official, have the classic format of Extreme, it was a bit disappointing.
I can see why they kind of went for the themed episodes for Extreme 2.
Yeah, it made it a bit more... For me, it made it easier for me to remember them, but also it made it just a lot...
Still doesn't excuse the New Blood tournament.
We will get to that at some point in the future.
Am I seriously the only person here who liked the New Blood?
I liked it, honestly. I wasn't that bad. I'm not a big fan of it, but I don't hate it as nowhere near as Owain does. I mean, I like it. It's there.
But you're basically going back to Series 3 with some of the quality of robots. Let's be honest.
Oh, you are. I mean, and also half the New Bloods aren't even new.
Yeah.
True, but at least we had a grand final of 4 working robots.
Yeah, that's cool. Out of 10. What would you give this one?
I would give it a 4 because it's below average, but there's nothing really outright terrible.
That's fair enough. Alex?
I am Alex.
Why the hell? I'm tired. Fucking hell.
Last time I checked, I wasn't Alex. Although I haven't checked in a long time.
No, I know. I was all right. Sorry.
Okay, my ranking, I give it...
I think we're breaking Jim.
Yeah, I'm broken. All right. Owain, What do you think?
3.
3?
There was only one match I liked, and it wasn't even a heavyweight match.
Fair enough. I would probably give it a 4, honestly, as well. Just for the fact that, again, the Antweight melee was kind of good. The challenge belt was at least competent robots, and I did enjoy seeing Napalm get broken, even if it was one-sided and bullshit. But the other 2 battles, I can't really defend too much. They were just kind of, Even if it was to destroy a pencil. They got beaten by a pencil. So, it's not really that great in the long run. So yeah, that was episode 15.
And we'll be seeing the All-Stars basically all 4 All-Stars semi-finalists.
Yeah, we'll see them in the second World Championship, which has a lot of cool robots in it. We obviously see a lot of regulars like Chaos 2, Tornado, Razzor, etc. We get to see some robots like Manta, Drillzilla come back as well, which is Manta come back and then see Drillzilla for the first time, which is one of the first kind of proper shufflers in the series.
We also see 2 really good robots in Whirlpool 70 and Yibo Robo.
Yibo Robo, the South African robot.
Robo is more excusable, but Whirlpool 70 has no excuse for its shitness.
I kind of like Whirlpool 70 for how rubbish it is. It's almost like a meme. Because it is such a weird looking robot.
But here's the thing I always thought about, because I actually don't like this format for the World Championship of having 4 robots in a melee and only 1 winner.
Yeah, it should be 2 winners, really.
But also, I mean, this is also, the next episode is also the episode which is just full of Jonathan Pierce making mistakes, like how Firestorm was in the last World Championship, or how Tornado was a semi-finalist in the last World Championship when it wasn't even built yet.
And also
it didn't exist.
Actually, one other thing I remember laugh is you have the really awkward moment with Mastiff, who can't speak English, from Italy.
Yeah.
So they're sort of like trying to get through the interviews, but not really.
Or for some reason giving Jonathan Pierce an echoey microphone.
Yeah, he echoes a lot in this episode for some reason. I don't know why. What happened to the sound mixing on it? But
I think they wanted to make it sound like it was live.
Yeah, but what's the point? It's obviously not. I mean, he didn't sound like that before, and now he just suddenly sounds like that. But I don't know. But that's going to be a fun episode, if not a really long one.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who picked up on that.
Yeah, it's gonna be it was really obvious because it's pretty much the episode of him just echoing for some reason.
But still, looking with some of the robots in it, like clearly, I'm guessing the Firestorm guys, they didn't want to be there because, well, look at the robot.
Yeah, the robot did not very well. I mean, again, this is around the end.
But still, it's like, where was Panic Attack? Oh, where?
I don't know where they were. I mean, they're normally in the World Championship, so they were last time. So I don't know where they went this time because they haven't got a Welsh representative.
Yeah,
because you need one.
Crustacean or you know.
Yeah, Crustacean over Yebo Robo, definitely.
Or Corkscrew for Scotland.
Yeah, I mean, there's actually quite a lot of options they had, but...
Or Supernova for Sri Lanka.
Yeah, I mean, they did it before, they do it again, they do it later on, don't they? So, I don't know why they couldn't, but... I don't know. But
that's always something Anderson should do. If he wanted to do, he should do it, because he's the Robot Wars guru, should do the Fantasy World Championship.
Yeah, he should, actually. But, yeah, that's going to be the second World Championship. It should be fun, if not really, really long. There's a lot of robots in it. And a lot of and not too many battles, but...
And it all divulges to basically UK versus the US.
As always. As always in the later ones, for some reason. Or most of the time it's just UK versus UK, so at least we got US in there. But, yeah, that was episode 15. That'll be episode 16 later. I'm Jimjamatic, signing off.
I'm Alexthehunted, trying to think of something to say.
And I'm the Tentijester, and I'm about to drop the sickest beats of 2018. My name is Tentijester, and my rhymes are really tight. I'm white.
Oh.
And cancelled.